You're listening to Pointing Pointers, the Point to Point podcast. Hello, good evening. Welcome to Pointing Pointers. This is episode 29. I'm Ben Atkins. Sam Davies-Thomas is looking better and younger by the episode, it has to be said. I'm not sure what's going on there. Ring light, I think. And we have fresh back from Ireland, Charlie Post. Charlie, how are you getting on?
Yeah, I'm good, Ben. Just literally flew back in and answered Sam's SOS, which was, I'd do anything for that guy. So, yeah, very happy to be on board the podcast once again.
It's very good. You are stepping into Paul Miller's shoes, who is unable to make it, but you'll be a very able deputy. I can assure our eager listeners. You know, you've got form on this podcast, to be fair, Charlie, so don't let us down now, you know?
Oh, no, never, mate. I'll never let you boys down. You're two of Pointing's greatest stars, you know?
So
you drinking or what?
I've been drinking a lot the last few days, though I have abstained today. And I think after spending a long weekend with Tom Weston, I've had my fill.
Yeah, don't blame you. Second to last episode this could be, Ben. Ever, maybe.
Well, mate, just break you like that, Sam. I mean, we haven't made any decisions at all. But yeah, well, let's see what the next
someone out there surely at the PPA with the marketing budget is going to swoop in and do something to save Point to Pointing's only dedicated podcast.
Well, it's very kind of you to say so. I mean, we've been at this 5 years now, but I don't know about you, Sam. I haven't got a blue microphone through the post, have you?
No, I don't even want one, to be honest.
Look, I'm on the board, and I can assure you, I think it's outrageous you haven't been contacted to do that. I really do. I think it's the least that they could have done after you've done this off your own bats for that number of years. But anyway, that's
Tell us how you really feel.
Podcast.
Tell us how you really feel, Charlie. I was only joking.
Well,
anyway.
At this point, we should probably thank the PPRA for their continued sponsorship.
Yes, the PPRA. Yes, Charlie.
Yeah, I mean, who else would you are our guys? Don't you worry. The PPRA are proud to sponsor you.
With the void.
And anyone who's any accusations of nepotism, then please send an email to Steph, who's the vice chair. Right, let's crack on, shall we? Starting with some results. Now, Dingley, unfortunately, wasn't fantastic, was it?
No, not a great deal of runners. It's a shame because I know they do normally do a decent job of the ground. But yeah, it was nice to see Amy Woff horse win again, Killer Clown, and Daisy White, who obviously puts a lot of work into the horse. It's nice to be rewarded when you put a lot of work into the one horse you've got. But no, it was good, and it was quite a funny result in the first as well, wasn't it? When Jack was riding one of Dale's and beat Dale into second on one of Dale's. It was fantastic.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
I mean, in all honesty, we took a horse there and then came home. It was frustrating because Dingley, the first meeting they had this year, I thought they did an amazing job with the ground. We ran a couple of horses there, and by all accounts, they did the middle meeting, but it was quick ground, unfortunately, and it is really tricky, and it's a very difficult problem for Pointing to solve. But if the ground is quick, people have got to do what's right by the horses at times.
100%. In the ground. Putting the ground back from the last two meetings where they probably watered it well. Was that an issue behind that, Charlie?
I don't know what they'd done or whether there was an issue, whether they were lacking water to do the watering this time round. Because, like I say, the two meetings before was an unbelievable job, a job that any professional racecourse would be proud of. But for whatever reason, and like I say, I suppose only the committee at Dingley that can speak about that. It just wasn't in the same nick from a watering perspective as it was previously. And like for us, we had a good ground horse, but yourself, Sam, if you get one jarred up at this time of year, you're missing the whole of next season as well. And my feeling about it was, for the sake of trying to win a maiden now, we may as well give the horse a break and start afresh in the autumn. Rather than risk it and try and win. And I think he would have won, but I just thought for myself, and everyone's got to make their own mind up on their individual cases and merits. I just thought it was too much of a chance to take. I felt you'd want a proper quick ground horse to run there the other day.
Yeah, and that's probably why not a great deal of runners in the end. But one meeting that did get good deal of runners was the Welsh International meeting, which is they seem to be putting a lot on the internet, social media about the water they were putting on, and they got rewarded with plenty of runners. That's probably a good position for the Irish lads to come over. It's nice to see us compete with the Irish as well.
2 winners for Sean Cameron.
Yeah, fair play to him. Yeah, and James King, he must have been on the phone early to get on board then.
Look, the one thing you got to give Jimmy King is he wins plenty of races on the Monday. Never mind the Saturday and Sunday. As in, I give like his greatest. I mean, he's a very good rider as well. But his most brilliant asset is I don't think there's anyone sharper in our sport at going through the races. I remember when he used to ride all of ours. I wouldn't have even known the entries were out, and he'd be on the phone to you already. And most of the time, when he was on the phone to you, it meant he was trying to get off the ones that you had entered the weekend because he wanted to go somewhere where
there was going to win,
where they were going to win. But yeah, instead of wanting to go and ride our 4-year-old somewhere, he wanted to go to some other track where there was 2 or 3 for Luke Price that had significantly better chances on paper. But I would always give James his due. He's a very, very sharp operator, and if there's anything you could take from him as a young rider, it's do your homework and be on the ball. You don't need to have any talent to do that, in fairness, and he does it better than anyone.
Yeah, he does. Completely agreed. Fair play to him. Yeah, he's won the title again. So no, fair play to him. Couldn't agree more.
Can we just laugh about the Welsh International meeting? I think there was a 4-year-old in the non-weight for age race, wasn't there, that was beat by a 9 or 10-year-old that had a heap of starts, wasn't there? Which is an Irish trained 4-year-old.
Yeah. That's nice. Nice to see, or not nice to see?
No, it's good to see. It shows it's not always easy to beat those older horses,
No, it's not. That's why you got to keep these maidens going. It's not all about the youngsters, is it?
No, definitely not, mate.
No, good. Kingston Blount, Hannah Morgan.
Yeah, what a horse that's been for her, and it was a nice kind of twist of the story, wasn't it? That was the horse that got the job done for the Newman Woolacott yard. I mean, literally, probably would have been nice to see Josh win on 120 lengths, and that'd be the end of it. It's kind of nice that it's someone that works in the yard on a horse that's been a real servant for him. So, yeah, nice little story there, I thought.
Yeah, no, I for one thought last year, it was a remarkable season for them, and did I think they could go and do it again? Probably not, but it's been a great season for both Josh's riding and the whole yard in general, with Hannah winning on plenty and some of the other novice riders winning as well, and Josh. Yeah, they've been farming races, especially down in their area, but they've been coming up as well and competing. And to regain the trainers title is no mean feat. And fair play to the whole yard. They've done well.
They've done unbelievably well, haven't they? Because they've got a hell of a lot of ammunition as well now. As in, I wouldn't know exactly how many pointers they train, but I'd have thought they must be the only ones within hailing distance of like the Ellis team for numbers of pointers.
True, Charlie, but they do have significantly less. I'd say. And I'm going out on a limb here, ready to be shut down in the comments. But I think they've got about half of what Gina's got in.
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah,
interesting. And of course, 200 winners up for Jack, point to point him.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. We haven't shared you into the sheet, Charlie, but it wouldn't have made any difference because we've missed that off the sheet altogether anyway. So good job you're here.
That's 200 winners is point to point, and he's still. How would he? 24? Would he be 25?
Oh, it's difficult to age him, isn't it? Really,
doesn't age, does he?
No, I mean maybe that's what not eating does for you, Sam.
Well, not eating and no women.
Yeah, well, that's probably the bigger thing. Yeah. Which is your greatest vice.
Yeah. That's why I look about 60 years old nowadays.
But do you know what? If we're championing James King for the homework he does and the way he works on the entries and picking out winnable races, you got to have incredible admiration for Jack Andrews being the weight that he is with the size that he is, as in the dedication to his sort of craft to stay as light as he is. I got nothing but respect for him.
He's on that bike. He's nearly on that bike in his house every morning, 10 to 5 before he goes to work for 40 minutes. And
it's the consistency. It's the consistency for me that I admire. Like, personally, that's something I would struggle with from that point of view. But he's taller than me, and he's obviously set his stall out early doors, like when he was a teenager or younger, probably, and gone, right, that's what I'm going to do. And he sort of shaped his body in a certain way, and just the pure consistency, day in, day out, not letting the handbrake off at Christmas over the summer, like just being at it always is remarkable, isn't it? Really, for any sort of sport. So fair play to him.
anyone else moans they can't do the weight, just say, look at Jack Andrews.
Um,
Gadsy Corbett, Charlie, we can probably move on to you, really. Our notes here, just talking about Flora, really. It must have been a great achievement to watch her kind of grow into the horse and, have her first win at Chelsea on whatever day it was, Monday.
Yeah, chuff for her on Monday. As in, like, she's a big member of our team. Like, she's worked very hard at her riding since she joined us a couple of years ago, and like Ping Pong Paddy's her own horse. He's not a straightforward character. I mean, he's not probably the perfect owner rider, novice rider horses, and he keeps a bit for himself. We were very keen to put some blinkers on him, which Flora said we could do at Chadsley, and she gave him an ultra positive ride, and fair play to her. She's a big part of our team. So yeah, great day for her.
No, it's good. It's amazing. Like the rise, kind of. I remember her probably 5-6 years ago jumping a hurdle in the school at Dan's for the first time, and yeah, it's amazing how people can progress. And she left the sport a bit, didn't she, to do something else, and she's come back to your horse, and she looks like she's really enjoying it.
Yeah, no, she does. Yeah, and like I said, hey, we all know you're only as good as the people that are part of your team, and she's a big team player as well. So chuff for her. And look, I said to her, I think she'd like to try and progress and ride a few more. She needs to work hard now through the summer, do plenty on the simulator at home, and develop her riding further. And if we can try and get a few older horses into the yard, and like I said, strengthen that side of the team, especially with which we'll move on to the £5 allowance that they have now. As I said to her, the ball's in her court. If she gets better, then we'll try and give her more chances.
Fair play. And going on to someone at the end of their career, Captain Matan finished his career yesterday at Newton Abbot with a win, which is nice to see. Good old servant that's come back Hunter chasing, and gave Oliver another win, and he has gone out on the top of his game. What do you reckon, Ben?
Yeah, great to see.
And also, it levels things up, doesn't it? The top of the amateur riders, ladies, amateurs, doesn't it? With Heidi, I think, are they 8 all going into tomorrow?
Are they? Good. See, this is why we get you on. Good insight. I only had Alex Chadwick to talk about. Is it? It's a mixed one, yeah. It's a gender one, is it?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is. Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. It is. Yeah, I remember because that was right.
You nearly won it 1 year, didn't you?
Yeah, I did nearly. Story of my life, mate. Thanks for picking up.
So you'll have seen on social media, Charlie. I'll throw this one out to you live, so you can't say no. You'll have seen on social media that horse has gone to retire with Vanessa Ryle, Sky Sports and podcast extraordinaire. Now, when we were at Edgecut, I was filling in for you at Edgecut, actually, so thanks for that. When I was at Edgecut, I formulated the idea of a charity race. I haven't told Edgecut this yet, so if you're listening, do get in touch. We're going to do something called Prix de la Pundit, post-racing, a little flat race. You're in it. Nick Luck said he's thinking about it. We've got Francesco Camani, Vanessa Ryle. We're going to get a few more pundits off of Telly, and Sam's going to ride in it. And we're going to do a charity race. Everyone's got to raise 500 quid for a charity, and then we'll put it into a pot, and there'll be another grand top up for the IGF or something like that. So I expect you to win. No pressure.
No pressure. No, we need to get the right horse. So make sure you let me know the conditions as soon as possible.
When are you going to bypassing which fence? You're going to pull the goggles down, Charlie?
Me?
Yeah.
It's a good question, mate. It depends how early I know I'm going to win.
It's just a flat race, but we will give you plenty of notes about the conditions, Charlie. So shall we move on to talking about Inchdaily Robin? That's we were talking about it last week. He's won again. Now, in the meantime, I've had a question from a listener about something else, and now we've given out my email address, Sam. It's been great stuff. We've had plenty, but an email about Inchdaily Robin, which I will read out to you now, not in full. Sam's already asked me not to do that in full because it'll take quite a while. But hi Ben, hope you're well, enjoying the podcast. Being a sad can't read that. Anorak, and lover of point-to-point history, I was intrigued as to whether Inchdaily Robin's feat of winning 6 weekends in a row was indeed something which has been done before, as you were speculating this week. I thought this may be of interest. So there's a horse called Little Fleur in 1978 that had a winning streak, which I was going to read, but Sam won't allow me. Basically, so won on 9 consecutive weekends if you allow the first Monday win as a weekend, plus a midweek win on the Tuesday, interspersed to make 10 wins in 9 weeks. No idea whether this is the record either, as I just dabbled on a handful of prolific winners. By my reckoning, she defeated 110 runners in doing so. Fair going, that isn't it? 10 wins in 9 weeks for Little Flirt, and that was from Mark Elliott, the Yorkshire area PRO. So thanks for sending that in, Mark. That's fantastic knowledge. That's just ridiculous, isn't it?
Makes you feel tired just thinking about it, to be honest. Yeah.
Imagine that.
Just all the driving, let alone anything else. They probably,
you know what? The great. I mean, you wouldn't have had to ride the horse out though, Sam, would you? As in, like, be 10 weeks of just never having a saddle on the horse at home. So yeah,
saved on the cost. Stuff. Yeah,
ideal.
That's probably what they've done with Inchdaily. We actually saw an interview that Luke did after his win the other day, and yeah, he says he didn't ride it out to Wednesday, and then Friday does 5 rounders, 2 furlong gallop. Thursday does the same, and then runs again. So it's easy, isn't it? I suppose. Best way to train it.
Yeah, and fits the less easy bit, I'd say.
Yeah.
So a question from a listener, which we'll use as a little segue into Stratford, Charlie. So a question for your next podcast. Why do the intermediate finals at Cheltenham and restricted final at Stratford have penalties? Surely the object of having a final is to find out the best horse in that category, which should mean the races run off level weights. I would also prefer no jockey's allowance, so apart from the mare's allowance, every horse would carry an identical weight, and barring accidents, the winner would be the best restricted / intermediate horse. Thoughts, please, chaps?
Charlie's best for this.
I mean, that's all. I suppose it's all a state of opinion. I mean, I'm being honest with the runner in the race tomorrow. I'd rather it was a no claiming, because my rider Zach can't claim, so it'd suit me much better. But I suppose we're trying. Claims are there relative to experience and winners ridden. I mean, I think something like Jack Teal claiming 7 in that race is an absolute steal. If you're looking for angles, and as far as I know, it's only sort of in class 2s and above, isn't it? That you don't claim. So it's a tricky one. And Barton Snow gets his penalty because he's already a Hunter Chase winner, I presume.
Multiple, yeah. So he's got a double penalty because he's won 2.
Yeah. So I'm not saying it's right, wrong, or indifferent. I don't really have a huge opinion on it. For me, I would definitely rather see riders claiming in this. As in, we want to see plenty of people getting a chance, and would it make you less likely to use a rider that was inexperienced if they couldn't claim, Sam? Possibly.
Yeah, possibly. Yeah, especially when you point it out the way you have there with Jack Teal claiming 7, and that's, as you say, it's a steal. But I think the penalty sort of thing, and being a final, because you're not going to get horses that are prolific because they've got to want a restricted and an intermediate. Look at them final races. So I think the penalty for having 100 Chase, I think probably not a bad idea having them off level weights. But then, yeah, including the claim would be good. But yeah, I think the penalties for having a final of horses that have to have won a restricted or intermediate in that season, I think.
I agree with you. I'll chuck it back at you. We've only got 6 runners in this race as it is. Now you make it a level weights race with Barton Snow in there, who's he's had an unbelievable season, and he absolutely bolted up. Granted, over 6 furlongs for less at Cheltenham. How many would take him on?
Would you?
We would with this horse, because he is there from a sentiment point of view as much as anything else. And I'd probably roll the dice. Yes, I am. Yeah. But I just wonder if it would.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with what you're saying, because he's obviously horses, got a fair level of ability, and what he's shown under rules under chasing is a lot higher than what the others have done, because it's all their first starts, under regulation fences. So at least he's gone and shown it, and that's probably why that's where the penalty's from. So I can see
he's got a £6 penalty, and he's still 4 to 6.
Yeah. I agree. I'm not backing out because I think it should be levels, but I can see your point.
Yeah,
because he is. I think he's probably, for what he's achieved so far, he's streets ahead. Obviously, these horses in behind him, they're no mugs. Every single one of them, I could give a chance to, but they've just got. He's already proved it.
So we'll move on to Stratford bets in a minute. I've just been texting away there. You'll see me trying to find my messages. That question came from a chap called Keith, who does a lot of the video work up north. He very kindly found me the video of Victor Thompson's horse, who's ended up going on to win about 4 races, which I managed to track down the footage late one Saturday night for Nick for the Nick Look Daily the following day, on the proviso that I made sure he got a credit on the Nick Look Daily. And and I've literally,
Come on, spit it out.
well, I can't remember his surname. So I know he's called Keith, and I'm trying to find his surname, and I'm trying to get the message back from him in time. I was stalling Sam, but he still hasn't quite replied. So thanks, Keith, for that question. We will we'll give you some credit in a minute. Second time look at it. Right, so Charlie, little curveball for you. I'm not going to tell you what he said, but our only correspondent this week, other than you, is one Joe O'Shea, and he has put up, as promised, a Yankee for Stratford. He's had a £10 Yankee, so it's £110. He's going to give anything that it makes over the stake to the Injured Jockeys Fund. It stands to pay 1,000-ish quid. So yeah, and we're going to talk it through what our selections are in a minute. But before we do, let's hear from friend of the podcast, Joe O'Shea.
So, Joe O'Shea, like you, I'm sat refreshing prices on the internet, trying to get some prices about Stratford tomorrow. We're recording this podcast late in the week so that we could try and get prices, and we still haven't got any. But as promised, you're going to put up 4 horses to win at Stratford and put them in a bit of a charity bet. And I'll get a bit confused on these things. Are we going for a lucky 15 or a Yankee from 4?
No, a Yankee. Oh, yeah, it's no good putting the singles unless you're backing big prices.
No, you're right. So talk us through it. What do you think the 4 horses that we can rely on at Stratford?
Right, we're set off in race 2 to begin with. Only 4 runners. 2 of them couldn't win if we set off now. Friday evening, 5:30ish. So it's a 2-horse. But I've got a feeling that they've kept this famous Claremont fresh for today. He's looked after it all year. That was probably his downfall for Aintree. He was too looked after. Come out fresh as a daisy tomorrow. Even money above should be a good price. He was 80% the horse he was.
Right.
So that'd be and then race 3. This is a good race, the novice horse, but there's an horse in this. As it happened, I have seen it work a lot in the last fortnight. Judah of Lawler's or after they've been riding my horses. She's done a fantastic job with the horse. Disappointing when they got beaten the Hunter Chases, but I think it's going to be a blessing in disguise, otherwise it wouldn't have been qualified for this races. There isn't another English horse. What should live with it? The 2 Irish horses are weird, no point-to-point form, put them in Hunter Chase, bang, they go and win well. Was it a fluke or are they job horses? I don't know. But Judah takes 9 out of 10 boxes. Could have been a little bit softer for him from a stallion that wants his horses want every ground. So yeah. I think he could be the better than I at the value 3 or 4 to 1. I expect him being. And Laura's done a fantastic job with him. He looks amazing.
Okay, right. So that's 2 down, 2 to go.
2 to go. Now then.
I wonder what that might be.
Yeah, what it might be. Well, it's that off in race 4, so with the big one, the Arsenal. Blackest Bam. It's simple. If he stays, he wins. He's in the same form as he was for Aintree. We didn't train him for Cheltenham. We come straight from the field. He did exactly what we expected him to do, but I hope it was only a last-minute decision because the owner, every time he had an every year, every 2 years, and every time I say I know where your horse is, his first words will be, can I win the horse and down with it? So this is the one. If he stays, he wins. I expect the others, they're not in his class, but they are out and out on the scales. So, it'd be running on fresh air from coming in the straight.
You don't sound super confident, Joe. You're worrying me now.
No, I'm super confident. I'm just trying to play. Yeah, I'm trying to play it down.
You're trying to be humble.
Yeah, this This is the gambling. It's serious to me. Even if I'd been having a laugh about anything else, I would have been. But when it comes to betting, I love the bookies paying out. So that's leg number 3. Leg number 1, well, it's Barton Snow. He won his restricted back in November at Nightwick. And I did say to him then, there's a lovely bunch of owners. I think the youngest one must be 80. Great bunch. And they all pop up. They love him to death. And I've said to him, this will be the plan. And we've always worked back to it. He's gone on and won better races. But as we've gone along and we've realised how good he is, oh my God, he's a machine on the go. Absolute machine. We've had to start giving him handicaps to GDB. Has had to go off like 200 yards in front of him and then let him come and unbelievable. His last piece of work the other day. He's on 127. I have him as we don't know how good he is because he's never come off the bridle yet, apart from in the bog when I shouldn't have had him at Chadsley. That was my fault. Shouldn't have had him on the heavy ground. That was good form against Vidder Fry. They give him 127, and he was still in third gear. The jockey says so. This is a good, decent race. And in a normal year, it'd be a great little race because the others have, they've won 24 races between them. It's a good bloody restricted.
It's very good. There's a very good card, and I'm looking forward to it. So just to confirm, because my signal is, I don't know if it's you or me, signal's not fantastic, but we're going Jadeur, Barton Snow, Crackers to Balm, Famous Claremont, of course it was. Sorry, 4th.
£10 win Yankee, £110. Anything above the £110, I will donate to the Injured Jockey Fund.
That was very kind of you. We'll post. You've sent me a picture of it already, so we'll post that.
I'll send you a picture of that. I've had a bit bigger one than that. I've gone through the card. I've added 2 more on. If I have 5 winners going on to, I live on my adrenaline. And if I have the first 5, and I think Maxwell's unbeatable in the last. So imagine having 5 winners going on to Maxwell. Now that's what you call adrenaline.
That is what you call adrenaline. And we'll all be cheering him home, I'm sure, regardless of whether you're still in it or not. But
anything can happen in the next 5 minutes.
Exactly that. Well, Joe, wish you all the best with yours tomorrow night. And good luck with them.
Thank you very much. Have a good day. Are you going?
I think I am actually. So I'll see you there.
Yeah, it'll be a good night. All right, thank you.
Thanks, Joe. Cheers.
I never thought we'd say Joe O'Shea, friend of the podcast.
Yeah.
Well, listen, credit where it's due. Credit where it's due. He said to me, as you'll have heard from that, he said to me, I have a lot of banter, etc., but I do take betting very seriously. So this is serious advice. He's also sent me a picture of his bet slip and paper form earlier on in the day. He's now sent me a screenshot from his 365 account. The bet is on. I've got every faith that he is not putting us away and he's going to non-run all his horses and this is
just give me 2 secs. By the way, I just got to shoot out to do something.
Yeah, no. So credit where it's due. It's a charity bet, so let's see what happens there. But let's start. Let's just go through the card in order, shall we?
Yeah. Well, why don't we talk about? I nearly said it then. Our race. No, your race. Let's talk about your race.
Sam, at some point, you just need to get out of denial that you've got nothing to do with pointing pointers, because it's quite clear that you have. I mean, you're on the podcast, you have been for 2 years. You've helped me. You've done loads of work behind the scenes for the forum. And
but the pointing pointers, just be quiet with you. The pointing pointers restricted final then. Go on then, Ben. Give us your...
what time?
Quick.
Clicking through. What time is it?
5:50. First race, mate.
Oh, lovely. Of course it is. Okay, so Charlie's got one of this, and Charlie's back. Charlie, welcome back. We're doing this the night before, so we're trying to reduce editing time for Steph. So, Steph, don't you worry, we've got your back. What a race this is, by the way, on paper charts. Barton Snow, who looks a fair beast. Glancing Hill, who's been the hero round Edgecut recently and won twice in a row for the Station Yard team. Hurricane Deal, Tom Britton, Largy Pearl, Premier Fantasy, and What's the Solution? It looks like a 2-horse race to this to me, Charlie, and the betting has it as such. There's been a fair bit of money for Dale's horse as well, to be fair. So 6-4, Barton Snow, Glancing Hill 6-1, and 13-2, Largy Pearl. How do you see it? Obviously, you want to win. Do you think you can beat him?
I mean, look, I think it would be a big ask, as in the horse, obviously, he's running in Francesca's colours because we just didn't have time to get the syndicate set up. He was owned by our late vet, Bridget Gatehouse, who we sadly lost 6 weeks ago. I mean, incredibly, the horse won sort of 5 days after her passing, and then he followed that up with another wide margin win round Edgecut. He's a progressive horse. I'm sure he'll go on to do even better next year. I think he's got it all to do against the favourite. The favourite. I mean, he's twice Hunter Chase winner. He won with any amount in hand last time, and yes, he's stepping back up 6 furlongs in trip, but he won over 2.5 round Stratford on his penultimate start, so he's course form as well. I think it'd be tough for him, but I just hope he puts up a bold show for all the Walnut Hill team and that are going to be there tomorrow evening.
Yeah, absolutely. It'll be a great night, whatever happens, like you say. And Sam, we should really mention, actually, while we're at it, this is the conclusion of the Pointing Pointers Hunter Chase series. And so one final time, thank everyone who's put some money in the pot. It's been such a great initiative. It's got a lot of attention this year. There's been some really good fields, some really good racing. So massive thank you to Gordon and Charlotte and the team behind organising them all, and everyone who's put money into the pot. It's been a fantastic effort from everyone and just a lot of fun to be involved with. I've not got to as many of them as I hoped, but a really good conclusion, and what a race to finish it on. Brilliant race course. So yeah, really pleased for everyone.
Yeah, that's remarkable how many, Hunter Chase you've been able to support, and that's no thanks to the people on the forum, is it, putting their hand in their pocket, like myself. Ben, have you done that?
I was about to say, you just stole a bit of a praise I was going to give you then. I was going to say, Sam, in fact, you contributed and I have not. That is for
put your hand in your pocket for once in your life, will you?
Well, it turns out that it was well covered by the good members of the sin. Have a little chat with Gordon. There's been a nice little arrangement there, should it not happen. But it's been more than covered, so it's all been well catered for.
But right, move on to the next race. Come on, sharp.
Yeah, come on. We've got to up the tempo.
Yeah, you're talking too much, as per usual. So, decided Barton Snow in the first race then. I think, I personally think Famous Claremont, he likes the track. He's won there before. Cheek Piece's first time. I think he could just be too good for the rest of them. He's running off he's getting £2 off Fairly Famous, although Fairly Famous ran a decent race at Cheltenham. I just think Famous Claremont is probably a better horse.
Charlie, do you agree?
Yeah, I do agree with that, especially back over this trip round this track. Yeah.
Fair enough. Right, the next, lads, is not that straightforward, I'm afraid.
You don't need to read out every single horse in the...
Who wins the 7 o'clock?
Ben, you go first then. Go on. You put me up in each way bet earlier.
Kilford and Woods, obviously, hard held on the bridle. Do you know what? My love for Kilburn Woods is embarrassing, really, Charlie, because you're here. But it's so well known now that people are sending me videos of him on course, off their phones, like little treat for you. Max Comedy sent me one the other day, little treat for you, a picture of him walking past with Clara on top for you, and great stuff. I mean, seriously, Charlie, he's 28-1. He's 28-1 for a reason, but he's not going to.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't put anyone off having a couple of quid them each way.
Yeah,
as in he was rated okay enough at one stage on the rules. Yes, the Hunter Chase he won last time was weak, but he could do no more than win it as he liked. And I think the time, by all accounts, was okay. He's on a roll, and he Clara can't claim in this race, as we were talking about earlier on. But I don't see, as long as it's not the one run too many, why he won't run well. He seems in great order at home, and he's a 9-year-old. We said we're just going to keep going when he's in great form because. Yeah, he's not got years and years ahead of him, so we may as well enjoy him while he's in great order. But it's a very good race, isn't it? I don't know enough about the Irish form. Sam might do more. I mean, Judo is a really good point-to-pointer. Seems to find rules fences difficult. I'm spellbound. I just wondered, Sam, whether he's been well placed maybe this season to win the races that he has a little bit. Hung Jury was a horse that we had last year, but not last year, previously. He was a notoriously quirky character. We won a few races with him. I mean, I thought he took his form to another level last time that came from nowhere. This track I'd have thought will be less in his favour. And then you're out to the bigger price ones. So I hope we're going to run a big race, yeah.
Yeah, I think
the problem is you're right. I wouldn't put anyone off again having a bit each way. You know, he's in their sixth favourite, 25-1. You know, the shortest price below was 5-1. That's because I'm Spellbound's been absolutely smashed from 12s into 5s. But yeah, I'm Spellbound. I think he's been seriously well placed. Be interesting to see how he copes going back under rules with regulation fences.
He's had a couple of heavy falls as well, hasn't he?
He has, yeah, he has. Especially at Lark, it was a real heavy one, and it took him a bit of time to get over that. And but he has been flying around now, so yeah, I can see where the money's come from. I'm interested to see these Irish horses.
Yeah,
I can't stand it, to be honest, myself.
you can't you? You know what's happening. But
Rebel County won a maiden, and then it's going to won a Hunter Chase, and the other horse hasn't even won a maiden Hunter Chase.
Yeah, I agree.
I can't understand. It's just the Irish factor, I suppose, but I can't see how they're going to get. Well, I think Jadot, if I wish there was a bit of rain tonight, would be lovely for him. But yeah, I think he's probably the class horse in the race. Obviously, he's tried Hunter Chasing a couple of times, not gone to plan. But I think he's a good horse, and I think he would be my pick of the horses from this side of the seat. What the Irish can do, well, you never know, do you? After yesterday, to be honest, you never know what's going to happen.
No.
Anything.
So
good race.
Yes. So I think my internet's been stable tonight. So
It might cut you off.
The Stratford Fox Hunters Champion Hunters Chase 3-4 at 7:35. So Gracchus de Barnes in this. It's got an obvious chance. Late Night Fumble has been heavily backed since it opened. I don't know if that's the Gina Ellis factor. But yeah, there's some very, very good horses in this, and I don't think it's I thought, Lancelot ran really well at Cheltenham for a long way, didn't he? And just didn't quite get up the hill. That's currently a big price. How do you see this?
I think this is a weak race for the being the Horse and Hound Cup compared to what I've seen it as in recent years. To be honest, if the first three in the betting don't win it, Gracchus de Barnes, Jeffries Cross, and Late Night Fumble, I'll be amazed.
Agreed.
Anything after that, I don't think is anywhere near up to a Horse and Hound Cup standard, without being rude to any horse below there. I probably don't think these three would lay a glove on anything that's won it in the past either. So, but yeah, short price. Gracchus de Barnes, yeah, full credit to him. You know, he has a great run at Aintree, very, very good horse, but 3 mile 3, could that be stretching him a little bit? I don't know.
And on the ground, maybe, you know, as in, like, I just thought decent ground, longer trip again. He's a strong traveller. You know, they fair play. They won another, Joe won another Fox Hunters with this horse. But yeah, I thought he was maybe vulnerable. Jeffries Cross didn't find what you thought he was going to the last day. Dropping back in trip might help him. I mean, I just thought Late Night Fumble at the prices, Sam, as in with the mare's allowance, and surely she's not going to be as fresh and keen as she was at Cheltenham. I mean, I couldn't believe she had enough in reserve to stick out and win that, as in after travelling as strong as she did. I thought at the price, I'd back her. Yeah,
I couldn't. She's had a nice break after that. I know Pip and Tony weren't overly keen on coming here, but I see they've been outnumbered, I think. She's ran at the course before. She did get beaten a bumper, but yeah, she looked a class horse for having a very, very long time off. And I could see her putting an each way bet. I could see her putting it up to the favourite, but yeah, I can't. Jeffries Cross wouldn't be for me, and it me personally would be between Gracchus de Barnes and Late Night Fumble.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, the way how inefficiently she travelled to win like she did up the hill, and then to get in front and look like she would have gone, she's got to stay, and it's really the longest trip on the card. So the next in the 8-10 at Stratford, believe it or not.
Stratford, really?
There's hardly any runners in this, but it's a very intriguing contest, I thought. Rebel Dawn Rising is got to carry 12.9, and obviously he's a very, very good horse, but can he give that sort of weight to walking out? The market would suggest people are unsure. How do you see it, Sam?
Well, it'd be interesting if Late Night Fumble goes and wins the race before having been beaten 2.25 lengths by walking out, got beat 2.5 lengths by Late Night Fumble at Cheltenham. Walking out now, carrying 10-11 to Rebel Horizons 12-9. Look to be really extremely well handicapped. So it'd be very interesting. 2 mile 5, walking out's a very strong traveller. I could see the weight playing a big part in this race, to be honest. I can't have Rebel Horizon, could be completely wrong, not with that weight, against 2 others that I think could have a chance, and that's being Present and Counting, back on a flat track on good ground, wants a useful handicapper, got the assistance of Toby in the plate. I think it's probably, for me, I think it's walking out or Present and Counting again. I think I wouldn't back the Rebel Horizon at 5-4, carrying 12-9 against these two. Charlie?
Agree with that. I think I'd probably back Captain Tommy at the price. He's had a really good year. His form ties in with Present and Counting, and at the weights there shouldn't be much between them. He's been slightly disappointing on his last 2 starts, but I'd chance him, and I think it's a trappy contest.
Yeah, horrible. I actually always think this race is bloody hard to find the winner off all the time.
Yeah.
But yeah, it'd be good for the syndicate if they could have a nice winner on the last day. Stratford, they've had a good season with a couple of, I saw the maiden winner a couple of weeks ago, and Captain Tommy and whatnot, and he's working really hard to get more people involved in that syndicate. So fair play to him. But no, it's a trappy old race. I don't think we need to talk about that too long.
No, and so the last, it's quite nice on a 6 race card, isn't it? You can drive on, especially.
It just means that you don't have to talk about 7 races. That's handy.
Well, it just gives me a bit longer to get down from Lincoln as well, doesn't it? So, Joe, say again.
Starts at the same time.
So, Joker Demai is at the top of the market. Sam, do you think anything can beat him?
Yeah, I do, to be honest. Yeah, I actually think the Big Lens's form doesn't read as bad, being just in point to points. I think, he's beat quite a prolific horse in Aramax around Fakenham, and he just got better of him. And Gonchez is no mug. And I just think he could be just more reliable than Joker Demai, having a full 57 days ago at Aintree. Could be completely wrong, talking absolute rubbish here, but I think I wouldn't be backing Maxwell. I would be with the Big Lens in this, to be honest. Fred Arms could be a bit sharp from around there, to be honest, over that trip. Although Heidi's been having a great tune out of him. He ran well in the Fox Hunters again. I'd be going with the Big Lens for this. Although I love to see a Maxwell winner, so I wouldn't be against it at all. Charlie? Charlie? Are you there?
He's either falling asleep or he's just a bit altogether.
Actually, he could be one of them guys sat on the bench, can he? And going, boo.
Yeah.
There he is. He's back. Charlie, your thoughts on the last?
Sorry, lads. The internet connection keeps dropping in and out. Your Joker Demai is the obvious one. I'd be slightly wary of backing him at a short price. I agree with what you're saying about the Big Lens. Fred Arm, I thought was a player, but 12 stone 6. I actually think the drop back in trip won't be that much of a negative for him. We've won this a couple of times with Cap Royale, who's not an out and out 2 miler. Very few of these Hunter Chasers are, Sam, are they? So, with Heidi Paler on, she claims three of that big weight off, and fingers crossed she can get a winner on the board. I've done a lot of work with Heidi, coaching wise. You've worked with her, and it'd be nice to see her win this ladies amateur title.
Yeah, and I've mentioned to her and a lot of others how I think she's kind of improved. She's race reading in the race is, I think, quite remarkable for the amount of experience she's had, and she seems to be getting stronger and stronger with every ride. She's getting a lot of opportunities from people who obviously have a lot of trust in her as well, which makes a big difference. It gives you a lot of confidence when you're riding. So, fair play to her. And if she can get a win on the board, it'd be great to see her lift that amateur title tomorrow.
Okay, right. I'm going to go first to give you a bit of time to think about it. I need 4 selections from each of you. We're all going to put up a Yankee versus Joe's. And whoever wins the most money, Sam wins the most money. So I'm going with Barton Snow. Famous Claremont. Walking out. And just to make things turbo spicy, if he was to happen to win, Kilfin and Woods. It would be 28-1. I think, I think they've all got a strong chance. And I think, with it being a Yankee, it'll still make okay money if Kilfin and Woods doesn't happen to go and win. But if he did, imagine the scenes. So there we go. That's mine. Sam, what's yours?
I'm going for an each way Yankee if that's allowed.
Yeah. I mean, there are no rules really.
Thanks. Well, I'm going to go an each way in the first. I think Barton Snow will win. I'm going to go Glancing Hill each way, 5-1.
Hang on. You've either got to go each way, all of them, or not. It doesn't work like that.
Yeah, I'm going all of them, Ben. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Glancing Snow each way in the first. I'm then going to go down to what prices? I'm spellbound now then.
Let's say 9-2.
Jadeur each way. Late Night Fumble each way.
Pretty sure that's 4. Okay. So I'll let you just think that. I'll just let you think through those selections, Sam, and you can reiterate them in a minute. Charlie, 4 of your best bets for Stratford, please, my man.
Yeah, I'm going to go each way Yankee as well, if that's all right. So I'm going to go in reverse order. Fred on. Then I'm going to have Captain Tommy. Late Night Fumble. And Kill Phil and Woods.
Yeah. Beautiful. So, Sam, just recap for us, because we've bamboozled listeners. We've got Joe's very strong fancies. I've sort of fumbled my way through it. Charlie, as ever, has delivered in a slick fashion, and yours are
Glancing Hill in the first.
Yes.
Happy with that?
Well, yeah.
Jadeur in the 7 o'clock. Late Night Fumble in the 7:35. And Present and Counting in the 8:10.
Interesting. Okay. A horse that you didn't mention when we went through the list makes it onto your. You did actually. You did. Sorry, you did.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, you did. Okay, so I've remembered Keith Simpson's surname, which is Simpson. So thanks, Keith Simpson, both for the question and for the video for Nick Luck all those weeks ago. Chaps, we are going to wrap it up fairly shortly. Is there any other business we want to talk about? Clearly, we're going to get Paul Miller on to talk about the conditions. We could probably do another half an hour podcast about all that. Should we save that for another time, or Charlie, do you want to just?
Yeah, I think so. I think let's the whole thing is under review, as far as I know right now. Like, there's been a few points brought forward by heaps of the participants, which is good to see that people care. Some of it's been positive, and there's been plenty of things that people would like to change. Like I said, I've said my bit as well, and so I think let's give them a chance to review it, Ben, and then we can go through it once that's happened, if that makes sense, as we're only going to speculate about what might or might not happen at this stage, I think.
100%, and it probably doesn't need any more noise surrounding it than has already happened. So yeah, let's just let that conclude and come back to it, I suppose. Any other business from either of you?
No, I'm thinking we've covered quite a lot there, haven't we? We've been on there for quite a while. We've actually been on there for an hour and a half. Charlie must have got stuck in traffic or something, but there we go. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But no, it's been good. And we're gonna have one more episode, do you reckon, of the season, Ben?
Yeah, I think we should do a season wrap up. Yeah, it's been fairly light on voice notes and things this week, on basis that Steph's got about 1 hour to prep this before putting it out. But we want to get around all the various winners of titles, etc. next week, have a bit of a wrap up and try and speak to Paul Miller, who I said was unable to make it at the last minute tonight. So without further ado, lads, we'll wrap it up. I just one final thing, just to remind people, there will be some changes being made to the forum this weekend, so it may be a little bit quirky for a day or two. So yeah, bear with us. If there's any access issues, get in touch.
What am I going to do?
I don't know what you two are laughing at. He gives it all that, Charlie. He's on that forum more than most users. So yeah, if there's any issues over the weekend, just bear with us while we get that sorted out. We'll be making every effort to make sure it is slick before long. So that's it from me, chaps. Thanks a lot for joining.
Pleasure.
We'll be there tomorrow night, Charlie.
I'll be there. Yeah.
Good stuff. Well, I'll hopefully see you barring an accident, which, as you know, I am prone to. Sam, it's been a pleasure as always, and I'll see you soon, my friend.
No, thank you. Good luck to everyone tomorrow. Hope they have a good day. And back some winners.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.
You're listening to Pointing Pointers, the Point to Point podcast.